home page, DF1 Lima X-ray, you will see the N1MM toolbox once here, and on the home page there is a download link. You will be redirected to the box.com. Then you can download. That's not too big, it's 53 megabytes around. And you may have to think about how to install. It's real easy. Copy all these files to an own area, for example, C N1MM tool. Go then to the folder. Let's see where it is on C N1MM tool. 11111. Doesn't matter. Toolbox. So let's see. I called it somewhere else. N1MM tool, and you see an exe file, a quick start, documents which are not filled, a contest folder. There is a documents ordner too. There's nothing inside. Oh, it doesn't matter. There's a PDF file and a quick start. How to install? Only click on this exe file. It will extract and create all necessary folders and start my tool. So you see that's the N1MM toolbox. It's a kind of collection of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 windows. They are included in one big main window. You can close every window if you want. For example, if you do not need this one, you can click on the close button or press the F11 button. The same for the voice player, it's called F12. F12. If you press again F12, it will open again and close. You can also drag, for example, the radio info out of this window and can make it a little bit bigger so that it is what you want, for example. There are some features inside this dragging box, for example, make it a little bit bigger or lower. You can resize based on the font size. Double click in the top window, it will take it back. So I will make it short, so I have it already running. Is it this? Yes. Let's see, I have two windows. So I will close this, go out to quit, really quit. Yes. So you see, I have now my working program. I programmed this with Python. It was a long time, and you will see the radio info is now floating, and you can see my NM1MM is on 14050 in the CW area, and it shows a green smileys. That means it will check the frequency where you are located. Let's say I will get it out. go to my NN1MM, and I can go to, for example, 18076, and I will switch back. Now it will get in green and red 70 meter WARC band where no contest is allowed. But it doesn't matter, I think so. You can look to it, you can make it bigger. And if you use your VFO, this QRG is following the transceiver and it will show information in the green area. For example, I have some areas defined in a file. Let's say I will go to 80 meters to 3655. I switch it back, and now you will see a red flag like contest tree. I created this tool starting from the Workdoll Germany contest. The contest manager asked me if N1MM can show contest tree areas. No, it is not inside, but other like WinTest and DXlog do have it that you are not allowed to work in the European area on this QRG in the contest. So it will switch if I put in 3612. So then it will get in green and the smileys are coming. So my station is not built up and I can't use it in the moment, therefore I have to type in. Let's make it smaller. I can resize, can double click that it is. in the program there is an ini file. I can go to the F6 area and go to a tab called editor, can say edit ini, it will open file N1MM toolbox ini, and I make it a little bit outside, a little bit bigger, and you can see on this area no contest. I have some definitions called, for example, QRG0 is the area 3600 up to 3610, and this text will be shown if you are inside this area. The same for QRG number 5, it's 14099 to 14101, that's a Bacon frequency, it's better not to make a contest. And you can add more lines like QRG 17 is equal 3602 to 3605. I say it's an scat QRG from mic 15, that is mic 15. That is my own club. But the problem may be that between 3600 and 3610 there means contest verbot, and therefore I will delete this line and save this ini file, N1MM toolbox ini. Yes, I want to replace it and close it. And the next time I will start my program, it will show if you are inside this small area that you are on the that you are inside, that you are working on the frequency from mic 15. That's about this radio info in the first. Then I do have a kind of buddies. Buddies is one of the main feature. you can see that the F2 means that you can select, clicking on this, a predefined text file, for example, LOTV. It will open and it's around 997,460 user inside. N1MM is running. It's connected to a cluster, and this information are transferred via UDP to my tool. Therefore, you have to go to the config area, configure ports, and there's something with broadcast data. I have marked everything and created some different ports. 12060, 12061, 62. Of course, some other programs you want to run should also get the information from N1MM. I namely use the port 12060, and therefore I need application info, radio info, contacts info, spots, and the score. Cancel. It's okay. I will go back, and you will see here, you will see the bodies file. There are some stations, for example, UC0A, UA4FCO, they are member of LOTV. So if you have one other file, for example, for a contest club like BCC, you can load also all the calls into my tool. And in this window, you will see that somebody from this list is active and spotted via cluster. Interesting is if you see, for example, Delta Fox 7 India Sugar, you can press Control left mouse click and N1MM will receive on UDP from my tool and he's going to the frequency. Now I can work him. Let's say DF7IS is worked, and then next time if he is spotted, the spot will be seen again, but the date in this area is in brackets. That means it's already worked on this band 10 meters. That is very helpful if you are collecting for some diplom's, for example from the RRDXA, to see if you have worked the station or not. Therefore I use normally the DX log as a standard logging in my N1MM. So let's open it again. I will delete DF7 Tango India Sugar. Shift D. I will delete. So of course it is my original logging area. So on the bottom you can see the F3 window. It's a multiplier window. You can see that every new multiplier for the contest is already will be announced. You can also make Control left mouse click and it's going to the QRG via cut and fill out that you can work at this station. So you can work him, but you can use the F3 also to show a short statistics. Coming in from N1MM, you made one QSO, have one country, and the last QSO is shown too. But okay, you can use it or not. I will close the F3 window. I will close the body and come to another feature. There's a kind clock, you see, I can make it, oops, getting outside. And the clock show you can also do, let's see how it works. Yeah, pressing shift, control, and using the mouse wheel, it can be made nearly as big as needed, and that is really helpful if you are a little bit blind and use your glasses. From a request of another OM, I made this button. Let's go it home, and the next number is shown. For example, the next QSO you will make in the contest is number 3. That's very helpful if you are mobile. For example, in contest in America in the mobile, and you have 2 laptops and you have to drive and don't know which is the next number if you're working, then you can see it here in real big letters. Switching back, it will make it off, on and off. So it all double click, it's included in the main window, and you see here the different tabs you can switch. Next information is, for example, the time on off. Uh, if you start a contest, you may do everything on 0, so it should be on 0. Do it on 0. And yeah, okay, it's okay. It's put on 0, and you can switch if you make an off time between on time and off time, and it will count the seconds, minutes, hours of a contest. The complete time, the overall time is the sum of this. And then you can see maybe you need a kind of off time of 15 minutes, then it will count in this area. Switching back, if you come back to your station, you can switch to the running time. In this window, you have also a small editor if you want to edit some other files. It's a very primitive, but it's working. On the left, you have 3 buttons where you can change a little bit the layout of how it looks like. So this window, it's called F11, and F11 will close it. The next part can be F6. That is a kind collection of features. The settings, you can see, for example, an N1MM gateway. You can look for OM gateway. You can switch the time. The time is number 5. Where is the time? Clock timer. You can, oops, that sometimes happens. Come out. Okay, so go to the clock. Now I have to look where it is. Yes, you can see the UTC time. You can switch to a countdown timer. That means if you want to see when a contest starts, you can set via, what was it? Shift and click. Shift and click is start time of the contest. Then you will have a counter. It's calling down up to 0 and then change the background. Then you can see it if a contest is starting. You have the Xkeeper gateway to send everything from N1MM, your QSOs, directly to the Xkeeper, or to logger 32 or to log 4OM. You can see how many UDPs packets, how many spots have been, how many QSOs, and how the CPU percentage is. Then you have in tab contest running. This is the name of the contest, field day region 1, the score 4 points, and you will see a SNP. You are in the SNP. If you switch to running, there will be run. I don't want to show it, it should be okay. There's the editor and the DX gateway. There are some informations which are not still interesting for you, but for development I use this window. There is a small information, a little helpful, but it's better in the other way. Let's close it. Then I have information about who did it. This is nothing interesting in the moment as it is not used. It will be for former users. You can restart the layout if you get the not if the layout is very difficult and you do not can change what you want. You can make it as it should be. If you make a right click in the top, you can see which windows are active. I can right click on off timer, it should be active. The bodies, multiplayer stat, you can see, or QSO order. So they are somehow into a tab area. So I will put it out. Let's see on another one. Make it low. I can close this as an example. Now I will go to one of the main part, which is quite very interesting for a lot of people. There is a tool called QS Order, which can record every QSO you are doing via contest in an MP3 file. This is very helpful. It makes MP3 files around 45 seconds long and can record the whole contest in one file. Therefore, you need also an UDP port, which should be not the same that N1MM toolbox is using. And N1MM is using the port 12060, and now I have to select 12061. Therefore, in N1MM, 2 or 3 UDP ports should selected for different programs. You can select the QSO order directory. It's normally, if it is installed in the registry of Windows, I'm using Windows 10. Then you need the NF input, the sound card, so you can select. I have a lot of them. The station number, should it be continuously or not? The buffer length 45 seconds. It could be that QSO order will stop sometimes based on radio frequency problems, and then it could be that it will be automatically restarted. Every 5 QSOs I will have a look if this QS order is running, and if not, I will try to reload it. So of course, then you only have lost 4 recordings. But that is a little bit more experimental and not quite for everyone. Then I will start QSO order. Clicking on this button, it will make a CMD file, which you should not close. And now it's starting to record the whole contest in the background. That's very fine, but normally you have a batch file to start it, and it's a little bit complicated for a lot of people who are not familiar with the DOS or the CMD area. I will close this small window. Therefore, I made a small user interface. So it can be closed via, no, F4 is not working, but doesn't matter. So the next one window is the inbuilt recorder. I will close this. Doesn't matter. You can make it again. I made also an own small recording area. I have to select for the sound card, the input and the output, and recording time. It should be more than 5 seconds. The duration I say 30 seconds. Should it be continuous recording, it will be around 300 seconds. Every 300 seconds a new file will be created, or every 30 seconds. So you can record everything from your computer. Therefore, I have an input and an output. I can go to record sound. I will do it. No. And it will be, if you record this file, it will be replayed for 5 seconds to check if you have the correct input. That is very useful if you do not know what you are needing here of this. The output is okay, then I can go also to my headset, but it's not working as the input is not available on my area, my tool. So it's really working. So I use it, for example, in my club. If I are working SSB with him and they want to have a kind of evaluation of the sound, I can record via my tool his voice now for 30 seconds, and then I can start this file to send it to my transceiver, and he can hear how his modulation is. So that is very useful sometimes if there are also QAM or what else, or some settings you want to see what is changing. The next one, therefore, I have also a big button, so I can switch between the recording, and the recording will be started if you go on site and stopped afterwards. There was a small problem, I don't know which, but that do not happen so often. On the other way, I have another one. It's called a voice player called Papagei. There you can also record files. In the moment are empty. If if I click on the one, you can choose a file, for example, a test MP3, and now you can, if you click on this, it will be sent to to the output sound. I think I have not inside. I need the FFmpeg. I need 3 files from FFmpeg which are not just into my directory, therefore it's not working. I'm sorry about this, but it's working. I know. Well, as you see, you can also reduce this. You can take it away, put it on the left. You can take it in the bottom, and you are really free what you want. To clear, then you can put here or in the middle, this area, make it bigger. There are some more possibilities also to increase the size of other areas that I have written in the documentation. I don't can show you everything in the moment, so there are a lot of more, some kind of keystrokes. Sometimes it's not working if you, for example, have this floating window, which is not anymore floating. It is sometimes tricky. You can get it in the bottom. Yeah, the on-off timer. See, switch it once again. Okay, I believe this is for the first. There are a lot of more kinds what you can do via some keystrokes to, if you go to the F2, where is it? F2, to the bodies windows, you can also increase the 4 with a, yes, with shift mouse wheel, you can increase, decrease to that you can see it. If I go to quit, I make really quit, I will restart. So the body file, now I can go also to, for example, first operator club. So if somebody is working as a FOC, it will be announced. I have to open, for example, this contest once again, and 1mm will send every spot which have been received within the last, I think 20 minutes, and you will see PA5XM is on 7031, control left click. I can here do it a little bit, and you can also add in information his member number, or his name is Keith. Let's see where my editor is. F6. F6, I go to the editor, I load a file, I have to go to members, go to the FOC, where is the FOC? Yeah, FOC TXT, and you will see how it is. You can edit. The first column is the call sign, then a comma, and then a text. The text means it is shown here. So only these two columns are needed. You can add more columns, but my tool do not use them. It uses only these two areas. The files are not too online, too actual. It's now from 2016. Therefore, you may have to update these files if you are a member of this club or not. Okay, I think this is for the first time. More is inside, and let's say 73, and thanks for looking to my short video.